Hello and welcome to Yoga Basics. I'm Patty, I'll be your instructor today. We're going to start by finding a comfortable seated posture. You can sit on something on the floor to bring your hips up at least as high as your feet turn sideways, or you can sit on a chair. If you're going to sit on a chair, scooch all the way to the front of the chair so it's just your sit bones sitting on the chair, planting your feet comfortably and evenly in front of you. But if you go to the floor, I recommend sitting on something unless you're someone that has got great movement through the hips. You can go straight to the floor and be very comfortable, but most of us need to sit up so that we can lift the hips up about the height of your foot turned sideways. Once you find your comfortable seated posture, find your breath. You're going to find your breath first outside of your nose, then you might feel it in your throat. You might feel your body moving just a little bit with the breath. And just notice the natural rhythm and flow of your inhale and your exhale. Remembering that each breath has 4 parts. An inhale part, a turn at the top part, and an exhale part, and a turn at the bottom part, making 1 breath. So now that you've found your breath, let's transition the point of origin of your breath from outside of your nose to down in the low belly. And even though we don't really breathe with the low belly, it seems like we do because of the changing of the shape of the diaphragm. So as we transition the point of origin of the breath, allow your belly to seemingly fill with your inhale, and allow your belly to literally draw back in and up to your spine as you exhale. This is called diaphragmatic breathing, or what we call belly breathing for short. The low belly inhales, allowing the breath to rise up your spine. Maintain any length you get out of that inhale as you allow the breath to slide back down that newly lengthened spine, drawing the belly in, back, and up. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale at the low belly, allowing the breath to lift up the spine. Maintain the lift as you slide the breath back down, pulling the low belly in, back, and up. That's 2. Let's do 1 more. Inhale at your low belly, your mid and side chest, your upper chest and back, and then exhale the breath back down, drawing the belly back to the spine. Good. Now I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart in the prayer position. In Sanskrit, this is called the Anjali Mudra, the mudra for overcoming obstacles. We commonly call it prayer hands. So you press your palms, thumbs, and fingers gently together, and at the same time, gently pull your shoulders away from each other, and you'll feel your heart lift and open. And as you feel the lifting and opening of your heart, take a moment and set an intention for yourself. Claim for yourself what it is that you want, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Take just another moment with this intention. And so it is. Blink your eyes open if they were closed. Inhale big. And then sigh out the exhale as you bring your hands back down to your lap. So joining me for today's session is Jesse. And we're going to put Jesse into the middle of the mat, and we're going to put him on something. So in this point, whether you're transitioning from a chair or from flat to the floor, find something to sit on. We're going to do sukasana twists. So if you'll come to the middle of the mat, and if you want, go ahead and face forward. Now, sukasana is where we have the legs crossed in front of us. So your legs are crossed at your shins, and you're trying to wiggle your feet underneath your knees. You look down, and you want to see floor or mat between your legs. For most of us, this pose is kind of wide. It's more like an isosceles triangle with one long edge. But what we're looking for is an equilateral triangle where the crossed shins and the thighs are all about the same length. Now make sure you don't tuck your feet underneath you. They're going to go to sleep too quick. They'll be squished. So you want to scoot those crossed shins away. Then you press down with your hips, drawing the low belly in, and lift with the crown of your head. Find your breath, remembering that the inhale extends the spine, and you want to maintain that extension as you allow the inhale to slide down the spine. So we're going to take sukasana and we're going to twist it. So look and see which leg you have in the front. Jesse has his right leg in the front, so let's go ahead and use that. Jesse has his Left leg in the front, so we're going to use that as a guide to put his left hand behind his back. And because you're sitting on something in sukasana, you might have to put your hand on something as well. Now, if you have really long arms, you might not need the prop for the hand. If you have petite arms, you might need more of a prop for your hand. So the left shoulder comes back, then that right arm crosses over the front of the body and go upside down with that right arm. So the back of the wrist is on top of your thigh. This is going to prevent you from grabbing that knee and trying to pick it up, which is going to mess up the pose. So you use the back of that thigh. Now with a sukasana twist, your chin for the first little while is going to stay right in the middle of your body. So wherever midline is, keep your head there. You're not looking over one shoulder or the other. Inhale, lift the spine up. Maintain that lift as you exhale and turn your shoulders to the left. The hand behind you is going to be used to pull this left shoulder back, while the arm in front of you is going to be used to gently pull those right ribs more around to the front. You can loosen the twist a little for the inhale, and then you can use the twist for the exhale. Again, just the shoulders, exhaling around to the left. Let's do that once more. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, rotate the shoulders around. Good. Now hold the tension. Inhale here. And as you exhale, look over your left shoulder, bringing yourself into the fullest expression of this twist. Inhale here. Exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper into the pose. Inhale here. Exhale once more, deeper into the pose. Now take one more in-breath, lift, 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 and on the exhale, release the posture and allow yourself to face back forward again. And then pause and feel. Feel what one side of the body feels like compared to the other. And it may be a cross pattern feeling. All right, let's change the crossing of your legs. So now the right leg is in front. We'll use that as a guide to bring the right hand behind the back. So with your right hand coming behind your back, hopefully your arms may or may not be the same length. If they're the same length, you probably can use the same supports. If the arms are a little bit different in length, maybe due to an injury or due to a chronic condition in your shoulders, make sure that you find the proper height for that arm behind you. Keeping the head at midline, this is to avoid a bone called the hyoid from engaging, which would stop the motion of the shoulders. Inhale, lift as the left arm has crossed over and gone upside down on the thigh. Exhale, twist just the shoulders around to the right. Inhale, extending the spine up, chin parallel to the floor. Exhale, the right shoulder around, pressing with the back of that wrist to bring the left ribs around to the front. Another inhale here, lift. Exhale, just the shoulders, twisting around, making sure you're as deep into this twist as you can go here. Now, inhale, lift, and exhale, look over your right shoulder, bringing yourself into the fullest expression of the twist on this side. Inhale in this tightness, proving to yourself you can still breathe in this position. Exhale, deepen the twist just a little bit more. Inhale, lift, lift, extend the spine, extend the spine. Exhale, twist around to the right. You're looking over your right shoulder. Take another in-breath, get as much length as your body will allow, and then exhale and release, and bring your torso back forward, and pause. And now feel one shoulder, one hip. Just notice what's going on. Okay, from here, we're going to flex and arch the spine. So we've done some rotation. Let's find some other movements with the spine. So go ahead and clasp your hands in front of you. And once you've clasped your hands in front of you, change the clasp to the awkward way. Inhale here. And as you exhale, roll your hands, press the palms away from you and arch like a cat, a big arch in the back. Tuck your chin to your chest, pull your belly to your spine, and stretch your arms all the way to straight. Stay here, and let's do 2 more breaths in this stretch of the mid-back. As you exhale, really reach the heels of your hands away, tuck the chin, pull the belly back. Once more, inhale into the back of your body. And as you exhale, really reach those arms away from you, bringing them to straight, snugging the muscles up to the bones. This is the squeeze part. Now one more in-breath here. And then exhale, release. Just bring your hands down to your thighs. Pause for a moment. Feel the back of your body. And now let's do another way. So clasp your hands together in front. Change the clasp to the awkward way. Inhale here. Exhale, roll and reach up. Now the heels of your hands are going to reach towards the ceiling, and while the heels of your hands are reaching towards the ceiling, let your shoulder blades or your scapulas draw down. So if you're unsure of this movement, just take your shoulders and shove them into your ears and say, this is a no. And then slide those shoulders away. Excellent. Trying to bring the arms as much to straight as possible, squeezing the muscles to the bones. This is excellent for your blood pressure. Inhale. As you exhale, pull the belly to the spine, reach the heels of the hands up even more. Take another in-breath. And then on the exhale, reach the hands up even more. Stretch, stretch. Shoulder blades are down, but palms of the hands are reaching up. Take one more breath here. One more in-breath. And then exhale that part of the breath, bringing your hands back down. And just rest your hands on your thighs, and again, feel how you feel in your body. Let's do one more stretch for the shoulders because we're going to get into some forearm work. So bring your right arm across the front of your body. With your left hand, grab above the elbow, closer to the shoulder. Now reach and stretch through that right arm. You can roll through your right wrist if you'd like to, going in one direction and then in the other. Following the breath, noticing what happens to your body as you take that inhale part of the breath, and then pull the belly back to the spine and take a really good stretch on the exhale part of your breath. Let's do that once more. Inhale, feel what happens, and exhale, reach those fingers away from the shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale, release, and bring your hands back down to your thighs. And then just allow your mind to go into your right shoulder area, your elbow, your wrist, and see how it feels. And then let's do the other side. So bring your left arm up in front of you, grab above the elbow, closer to the shoulder, gently give it a little bit of a pull. Inhale here. And as you exhale, reach that arm away from you. You can roll through your wrist, remembering that the synovial joints in the body, lined with synovial cells, love the circular motion, and when you make that circular motion, you're exciting the synovial cells and the synovial joints, and they're creating the fluid necessary to cushion and cleanse your joints. Take another in-breath. Feel what the in-breath does to your body. Then as you exhale, reach that arm and give just a little pull, letting that shoulder come around. No reason to twist through the spine. We've already done that. You're just trying to stretch through the shoulder muscles. Shoulders are really complicated and they're huge, and they take a wide range of work. Take another in-breath. And exhale, release. Bringing your hands back down to your thighs, and just pause for a moment, and now feel into your left shoulder. Okay, so from here, you're going to come to your belly. So let's move the blankets just to the side. We'll be coming back to the blankets in just a moment. So from your knees, hands and knees, before we get to the belly, come down to your forearms. So if you went to your belly first, just pick yourself up to your forearms. And let's clasp your hands together. Now, I like to open my pinky fingers like this so that I don't smash into my pinkies. You want your elbows under your shoulders, which usually for most of us means we need to pull the elbows in just a little bit. To protect the low back and to find the purpose of this pose, pull your low belly in. Make sure your low belly stays in. We're not going to do diaphragmatic breathing here. We're going to do a structural breath, which keeps the low belly in and just fills the rib cage. Once you've found this action of your low belly drawing in and the rib cage expanding and contracting with your breath, then bring your left foot back, tuck your toes, make sure that belly's pulled in. Bring your right foot back, tuck your toes, pull that belly in, and try to work yourself flat. From here, this is really hard. You might be shaking. Breathe. Keep that low belly in. Keep the back secure. Breathe into your rib cage. Fill the rib cage on the inhale. Squeeze the rib cage on the exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then release the pose. Excellent. Okay, so now if you would, come to your side. So Jesse's going to lay down on his right side. You're going to put your right forearm crossways to your body. Bring your left foot in front of you. Your right leg is straight. You're going to push into that left foot and into that forearm with the low belly drawn in, and you're going to lift your hips up just a little. Move this hand out of the way and use your side muscles to hold you up. You're breathing here. Lifting that hip off the floor, use the pressure of that foot in front of you. Some of you have done this pose before. If you would like, don't you, Jesse. If you'd like, though, at home, you can take that left leg and stretch it down across the top leg. It makes it even harder. Another good in-breath. He's starting to shake. This is good. Shaking in a contraction means you're getting stronger. And release the pose. Take a moment. Just feel. And then you're going to go the other way. So now get your left hip down onto the floor. Your left forearm goes crossways to your body. Your right foot steps in front. You're going to use the pressure of the right foot and the left forearm to lift the hips up. The low belly stays drawn in. You're protecting the back. You're breathing by expanding the rib cage on the inhale and contracting the rib cage on the exhale. If you'd like to add another dimension to this pose, you can lift that upper arm up and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Stretching the right arm up and trying to get a little opening at the chest. Nice. Take another breath here, lifting those hips. Remember, you can shake in a contraction, not in a stretch. Another breath. Excellent. He's shaking good. Release the pose and come down. Ah, very good. Now we're going to do a reclining twist so that we can make sure the back is still properly lined up. So come to your back. Coming to your back with your knees bent and allowing the floor to accept your body. We've run out of time for the upside down portion, so if you think about going upside down later, getting your feet above your head, that's a good idea. But for now, we'll do the reclining twist. Press into your feet, lift your hips. While your hips are in the air, shift them to the right and lower them down. So your hips are offset to the right, left leg straight. Right knee pulls in. Your pelvic floor is a very beautiful figure eight, double figure eight shaped mesh of muscles, and it takes an asymmetrical stretch. So as you pull the right knee back, point the left toes, and feel the back of one thigh and the front of the other stretching. This translates into a beautiful opening at the pelvic floor. Inhale into your stretch, and then exhale that knee all the way across your body. Get the knee to the floor, to a set of blankets, to a book. We want that knee stationary so that we can protect the lumbar spine. From here, reach your right arm up, stretch through your right side. Inhale here, and then exhale and open that arm to a T. Now, Jesse is a little tight today, so I'm going to give him something for his head. Lift your head and bring it down. Now, turn your head and look down that straight right arm. So if your chin is jutting way up in the pose like Jesse's was, put something under your head so that we can make the spine nice and neutral. And just kind of soften yourself into this shape. Release tension as best you can. You'll feel the tension up here in the clavipectoral sheath, but you shouldn't feel it too many other places. You can feel a stretch, but not a contraction. You're trying to release into this stretch. Now let's inhale. And as you exhale, draw your knee into your belly and roll to your back. Feet on the mat and square your hips. Once you're square, press into your feet, lift your hips. While your hips are in the air, shift them to the left and lower. Right leg straight, hips are offset to the left. Draw your left knee into your belly. We're going to stretch the other angle of the pelvic floor now as you pull that left knee in and point the right toes, feeling the back of one thigh and the front of the other. Inhale into your stretch. And then exhale that knee all the way across the body. Let the shoulder pop up as the knee goes down to the floor. You're also welcome to take those toes and tuck them on top and behind the straight leg if you'd like. Then take this left arm, reach through the left side body, inhaling, and then exhale that arm into a T. Turn your head and look down, that levitating arm. Some of you may have the hand on the floor on the far side. This is excellent. Some of you may have the hand elevated. This is excellent. We're talking about the spine here. So you want to soften the surface muscles. Let your belly and your back soften. Release through the glutes. Let your fingers and face soften. And when we release the surface muscles or the superficial muscles, the deep muscles engage. And when the deep muscles along the spine engage, they make any adjustments that might be necessary through the spine. So you may even feel yourself getting a little bit of an adjustment through the back. Melt into this posture. And then, when you're ready, take another inhale. And as you exhale, draw your knee into your belly. Roll to your back, feet on the mat, and square your hips. So I'm going to give them a little bit less for the head, for Shavasana. Lay your head down. You kind of want your forehead and your chin on the same plane. So give a little tuck to the chin so you get long in your neck. Then bring your knees into your belly. Wrap your arms around your legs. Part of your yoga practice is squeezing out stagnant fluid, energy, metabolic waste, and then soaking up freshly made stuff. So take another inhale here. And as you exhale, squeeze yourself into a tiny ball, as tiny as you can get, feet side by side. Then loosen the squeeze. Inhale. Then exhale, squeeze, making yourself teeny tiny. Then loosen the squeeze, inhale. Once more, exhale, squeeze tight, tight, and then release. And let your legs go long down the mat or the floor, wherever you're practicing. Once the legs have gone long, let your hips rock side to side until your low back gets comfortable. When your low back's comfortable, let your toes splay open as best they will based on your IT bands. Flatten through your upper back, whatever you have to do to make that happen so the shoulder blades lay flat. Let your palms face up. You can bring your arms about 1.5 feet away from your hips if you'd like, wherever you can find external rotation to be the most comfortable. As I said, a little tuck to the chin so that you get long in the neck, attempting to get your forehead and your chin on the same plane, and then melt. Coming into your Shavasana. Shavasana is Sanskrit for corpse pose. The ancients realized that the practice of this pose enabled you to let go of some patterns or to die to the way you were, to engage new patterns or to live to the way you will be. So in this posture, we now know through modern diagnostic testing that the limbic system will release old patterns of behavior, old cellular patterns, and will adopt new patterns based on what you just taught yourself. So in your Shavasana, to make this work, you just release all the contractions that you can find in your body, and you allow your breath to come to a natural rhythm and flow, trying not to control it. And you let your mind roam through your body, noticing any tension that you might have re-engaged or noticing any long-held tension and letting it go, allowing your belly to soften. Swallow, releasing through your throat, letting the skin on your cheeks go slack. Allow your tongue to rest gently in the back of your mouth, continuing to release any conversation with yourself and instead tune into observation of yourself, observing as you let your tongue spread side to side, finding the front of your body and in its entirety letting it melt into the back of your body, bringing your gaze inward. Be brave and release the grip of your brain, letting it rest gently in the back of your skull. Let your skull widen and spread on the blanket or the mat or the floor. Tuning in for one more moment into the various vibrations of you. All right, so now deepen your breathing. Wiggle fingers and toes. Make circles with wrists and ankles, big wide circles one way and then the other. And then reach your arms up long and stretch your fingers away from your feet. Make space, especially through your belly. You can point the toes, you can flex the feet, whatever you want to do. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, release. Bringing your knees into your belly, roll to your right side. Make a pillow for your head with your right arm. Pause here while your body transitions and take this moment and thank yourself for your practice, enabling the gifts and the benefits to continue to penetrate to every level, including the deepest level. Inhale, and on the exhale, gently press yourself up using your left hand, coming into any seated position that would be comfortable for you, and I'll invite you to bring your hands back to your heart. Lift and open your heart, bow your head, and namaste.